Most people never notice the weight until they try to move forward. They think resistance is normal. They think the heaviness is life, but chains have a sound. And if you listen closely, you can hear them dragging behind your decisions, behind your fears, behind the voice that says you can't. You learn that voice somewhere, from rejection, from disappointment, from moments when you reached out and nobody reached back. You carried those moments into adulthood like luggage you never unpacked. And now they shape how you speak, how you love, how you trust, and how you dream. You ask God for open doors, but you approach them expecting rejection. You ask for peace, but you rehearse worry like it's your daily prayer. You ask for transformation, but you protect the very pain that keeps you unchanged. Listen carefully. Freedom does not begin when circumstances change. Freedom begins when agreement changes. There is a silent agreement you made, an agreement with fear, an agreement with doubt, an agreement with the lie that you were defined by what happened to you. That agreement is the stronghold, not demons in the dark, not people who betrayed you, not the systems that ignored you. The stronghold is the belief you accepted about yourself when you were wounded. And today, we break that agreement because chains cannot hold someone who refuses to wear them. You have carried guilt that was never yours. You have carried shame planted by voices that never created you. You have carried comparison that robbed you of gratitude for your own design. But hear this truth, deeply and slowly. God did not create you to survive your life. He created you to walk in authority within it. So here is the first step toward freedom. It sounds simple, but it is powerful. Forgive. Not because they deserve it, not because the memory disappears, but because bitterness is a lock that traps only the one holding the key. Forgive the ones who misunderstood you. Forgive the ones who abandoned you. Forgive the ones who spoke words that echoed in your mind for years. And forgive yourself for the decisions made when you were hurting, confused, or simply human. Release them. Release it. Release you. Because the moment forgiveness enters your heart, the first link of the chain snaps. You may not hear it immediately. You may not feel fireworks, but something shifts in the spiritual atmosphere of your soul. Breathing becomes lighter, hope becomes possible, and the version of you buried under years of survival begins to rise again. Freedom is not a distant miracle. Freedom is a decision repeated daily. Today you decided to listen. That means the process has already begun. And before we move deeper, remember this. Why is it that two people can sit in the same service, hear the same word, read the same book, and walk away with completely different lives? One rises into abundance, clarity, and purpose, while the other remains locked in the same cycle of debt and discouragement. It isn't luck. It isn't coincidence, and it isn't because heaven plays favorites. It is alignment. There are spiritual principles woven into existence like gravity woven into the earth. Ignore gravity, you fall. Ignore truth, you drift. Ignore responsibility, you repeat. The enemy does not need permission to destroy momentum. He only needs access, and access is often granted through agreement. Agreement with fear, agreement with compromise, agreement with patterns you secretly know are draining life from you. This is where we get honest, not polite honesty, not surface level reflection, honesty that cuts. Right now we perform spiritual surgery. Look inward, not at the person beside you, not at the system around you, not at the excuses ready on your tongue. Identify the anchor, that one habit you defend when nobody is listening, that one relationship you know poisons your peace, that one narrative about yourself you refuse to release because it feels familiar. Anchors don't always look evil. Sometimes they look comfortable, sometimes they look normal, sometimes they even look justified. But if it holds you in the same place year after year, it is not stability. It is captivity. You cannot sail into purpose while protecting what is tying you to the shore. So ask yourself and answer without softening the truth. What drains your discipline? What weakens your conviction? What delays obedience? Name it. Because what remains unnamed remains undefeated. The moment you expose it, light touches it, and darkness never survives light. You don't need 10 steps. You don't need 10 years. You need courage. At the appointed moment ahead, I will reveal the protocol of the immediate exit. A decision pathway so direct that it breaks cycles that have lingered for generations. But understand this first. Freedom is not mystical. It is intentional. Transformation is not accidental, it is decisive. Deliverance is not passive, it is participatory. You are not waiting on heaven, heaven is waiting on your response. And if your heart is ready, stay present, because the next step requires honesty that reshapes destiny. We have reached the point of no return. You've listened, you've reflected, you've faced the weight of years carried in silence. Now we stop talking about the cage and we walk through the door. Most people fail because they try to gradually get free. But you cannot gradually exit a fire. You cannot slowly stop drowning. Freedom requires immediacy. There is a protocol of the immediate exit, and it requires one thing right now that your comfort will resist: the great exchange. Freedom is not free. It costs familiarity. It costs identity built around survival. To become who you were designed to be, you must release the version of yourself you have been protecting. Identify the central lie of your life. Is it the relationship you maintain for appearances while it drains your peace? Is it the role that pays your bills while suffocating your purpose? Is it the hidden pattern masked by an outward spirituality? Do this now. Open your hands, physically, wherever you are. Picture that weight resting in your palms and say quietly or boldly, I release the right to be comfortable. I choose the right to be free. Hold that moment, because courage is not loud. Courage is decision. There is a window open right now, brief, clear, undeniable. Act within it. If there is a connection tied to bondage, sever it. If there is truth buried under silence, prepare to speak it. If there is generosity delayed by fear, release it. Move, choose, respond, because action transforms revelation into freedom. And when you act, something shifts. Access granted to darkness dissolves when secrecy dissolves. Authority returns when honesty returns. Feel the difference. Lighter breathing, clearer focus, less resistance in your spirit. You are no longer standing in the cage, you are standing outside it. But listen carefully. Leaving is not the end. It is the beginning. Because now comes the final step.